Hi, everybody. I just felt today to have a bit of a chat with you all about how mentors help to literally make our dreams come true. I'm going to just share my screen for a second and show you an image. Oh, yes, here I am. Sorry, forgive me, tech stuff. Here it is. Lovely. Um, oh, okay, hang on a second. I'm just going to stop. There it is. Great. Okay, so now you can see on screen the magician. Now, this is from the Waite tarot deck, and I'm sure many of you are aware that the tarot in the major arcana, it details over 22 cards, our major life lessons that we have to master here when we're embodied as a soul in incarnate form. And you can see they've got, the John Travolta pose going on, as above, so below. And, that's like the creed of manifestation. So it's because this is a person who has learnt through being initiated into understanding the path of the red road, which is the material realm, and the white road, which is the spiritual realm. And so someone who has studied both paths is then able to turn ideas into a reality. So that's why we see the red and white robes being worn by the magician. Now, the magician is somebody that during patriarchy has been turned into a distortion, like all of our archetypal characters and stories. They've all been skewed so that it's harder for us to embody the strengths of them. And what the magician has been turned into is the trickster who deceives people using illusion, okay? Get rich quick sort of scams. And this is someone who hasn't walked the white road whatsoever. They're only focused on the red road, and they're coming from greed. And this is also, those who say, I've got all the knowledge and you don't know anything. This is another negative expression of the magician. But the higher expression of the magician was the Magi's. They said at Yeshua's birth, he had these Magi's turn up. So these were guys that had studied both paths, okay, the spiritual and the material. They understood the laws of the universe and how they work. And in the tarot, this is the fateful person who crosses our path, the teacher, who opens up a whole world to us that we didn't know existed, okay, so that we can turn our ideas into reality. Because until we meet the magician, we're like the fool, which is the first card, when we've got all this unexplored potential, all these big ideas, but they're just ideas. We don't know how to progress to the next stage. So it's the fateful meeting with the magician that helps us to really fulfill our potential and make our dreams come true. Now, for me, I met my most significant mentor when I was 26. And she was literally an answered prayer. And it happened because I got down on my knees and I said to the universe, if you want me to be a woman, send me some fucking role models, because I was so over my own feminine disempowerment. And the universe delivered to me a wonderful woman called Jen Powell, who became like a fairy godmother to me. And, she even looks like she's from the netherworld or Middle Earth, and she understood the mysteries of life. And so, it's like she opened the door to a whole world I didn't even know existed. And I still see Jen. We always have a Zoom call every month. And I was very fortunate that, you know, she was so generous with her time and able to help me make sense of things that I couldn't make sense of on my own. So there's another image I want to show to you. I'm just going to share my screen again so you can see it. There we go. So here we have a pie chart. And this tiny slither of pie is the stuff that we know, okay? And that's one of the reasons that the process of aging is so humbling, because we realize how small that piece of pie is. We realize that we really don't know very much at all. Then the next biggest slice of pie, the white piece, is the stuff that we don't know, okay? But then that big Pac-Man piece on the left, that's the stuff we don't know, okay? And that is what sabotages us from turning our dreams into a reality. We don't understand the ways that we're being our own worst enemy, getting in our own way. And so, you know, this plays out as us continually creating struggle, experiencing struggle. And this really erodes our self-esteem. You know, it undermines our ability to trust in ourselves, to make commitments, to make choices. And, you know, people can end up really bitter and cynical and contract rather than expand and grow, because they don't understand how it is that they're constantly not achieving what it is that their heart most desires. And that, in a nutshell, is the role of the magician on the hero or the heroine's path. This is somebody who is a guide. Okay, you know how Luke Skywalker, he wouldn't have got very far without Yoda teaching him how to use the Force. And similarly, King Arthur wouldn't have become the legendary sacred king without Merlin. So, you know, this is something that I offer if you really enjoy the little guidance that you get sort of every day on Facebook or in your email inbox with my lunar posts. You will love going even deeper into the mysteries and understanding even more of what you don't know, which I would love to share with you. I've got another course starting on the 10th of March. So this one is for women. It's called the Inner Goddess course. And it doesn't matter where you live or how old you are. We have women of all ages all around the world journey this. And it involves doing special activities and reading materials, videos, meditations to empower every facet of your womanhood. So once every month, we journey with a different feminine aspect. So we start with the wild woman, and then we journey with the goddess of love, Aphrodite. Then we journey with Athena, the inner career woman, and so on, all the way up the 7 energy centers. And this is a very ancient process which, you know, awakens our fullest feminine potential. So the mentoring that I offer in that program is, first of all, Q&A written mentoring. So the way that works is, if you have a question about anything related to the course, you simply type your question, and then I get a ping in my inbox to say, hey, so-and-so has asked me a question, and then I jump on and I type a personal response. So this morning I was responding to my students' questions, and one was a woman asking about the meaning of the different symbols that she'd received in her meditation to meet the inner wise woman. And so I analysed it as you would analyse a dream, giving my interpretation of what lessons that signified for her personally. So that's an example of how I do the Q&A, the question and answer written mentoring. But on top of that, there's also monthly live circles, which we do via video call, via Zoom. And we don't favor any one time zone, so we alternate the times. And we share one at a time the ways that we have experienced that archetype coming up in our lives and initiating us with varied experiences that was so synchronistic, because that's the magic of this shamanic journey. When you say, right, I'm going to work with my inner wild woman, she comes up to greet you. So, you know, it just, it's so fascinating to hear of, you know, the women's journeys with each archetype, and I facilitate that space live. So if you're finding, you know, these transition times extremely challenging, I invite you to consider joining me once a month for these live calls, because this is a time of accelerated transformation if we embrace the opportunity in the crisis. So, and the other thing I want to say is that, you know, there are 3 different stages to healing. And the first is when we only have enough courage and trust in one other person, okay? Because the wound is so festy and, you know, raw, and we feel so insecure about it. We can only deal with one other trusted person, such as a counselor, you know, a healer, a reader, might even be your cat, but just one other being seeing you in your raw, chaotic, messy state. But when we've done a bit of that, if we really want to take it to the next level, okay, if we really want to accelerate our growth, then that's where coming together in circle, we're sitting in a vortex, okay? A circle has no beginning, no end. So when we come together, even in an online circle with intention, it's going to bring up what is not integrated. And I, you know, have facilitated circles for 25 years. So I'll also gently be probing you, questioning you, helping you to see what it is you don't see, in how that archetype is playing out for you, so that you really can, you know, look at the saboteur and transcend it, so that you can turn your dreams into reality. So I've got an early bird special on as I'm filming this, and it ends this Friday. So if this speaks to you and you go, yeah, give me a bite of that apple, then I would suggest save yourself $100 and register now. I have not raised my prices for this course in a few years. I'm aware a lot of people have been, you know, had some financial challenges with the whole COVID lockdowns. So you can pay it off month by month so that it's more accessible for people. And yeah, it's an ideal time to be transmuting the shadow, because it's all coming up now for us in the quickening. So if you feel like you're going mad and you need more support, then I would love to be your mentor, and I'll put the link in this post so that you can check it out if you want more info. And don't hesitate to drop me a line if you've got questions. All right, ciao for now.